in order to have success, in order to accomplish what I want, I must feel good in the moment as I'm doing it, or else it doesn't count. Personally, I am the type of person where I'm addicted to continually growing and also addicted to constantly creating goals and trying to achieve those goals. And I notice, and I don't know if you're like this as well, but I'm curious, like how often you might be setting a goal and feel stressed because you need to be moving forward and doing more versus like really excited about it. Because I struggle with that. And I feel like you're a person that is really in tune with that. And not to turn the tables here, but yeah, I'm really curious about how you deal with that.
It's tough, man. I have a really good support system. My wife will put me in check a lot because when she'll notice when I'm like, man, I just don't feel like I'm hitting the mark. I don't feel like I'm making a reach. I don't feel like I was just talking to her a couple weeks ago about this, and I was like, and she's like, what do you mean? She's like, do you not see what people say to you, the messages? I'm like, yeah, but I'm just in that place. Or, hey, we're not here yet. She always catches me saying, well, we're working towards it. We're getting there. And she's like, you're doing the work. Like, give yourself a chance. And it's just, but then this is old battles. This is old programming, right? I grew up with a dad who was very hardcore, where it didn't matter how excellent I did something. There was always something wrong with it, no matter what. I appreciate that I didn't like it at the time, obviously, and it created some things. But as I got older, I appreciated it because one of the things that taught me is no matter what you do and how good you do something, you can always do better. You can always go to another level. And there's a negative to that too, because then you don't smell the roses, right? But it's just keeping yourself in check in a way. For me, my focus is just what I do and what has helped me massively in my life. And I kind of talk about this a little bit in my podcast too, is that it's all about the small things. So what's your smallest victory that you won for today? Right. And that has been a game changer. And sometimes I'll just do it and be like, whatever. But there's times where I'm just like, what did I win today? Where was my wins? What did I do? And then I'll just think about my day and what I accomplished. And I'm like, okay, even though my ego, right, because that's my old programming, it's not my voice, it's my dad's voice stuck in my head, where I'm like, nah, you could have did more though. You could have went an extra hour doing this. But at the end of the day, I've learned to get softer with myself and be like, you know what? No, I'm moving forward. I did something. It saved me time. I'm moving forward. And I think the biggest thing is understanding as long as you're showing up every day and you're making small changes, you're doing the best that you can. And the biggest thing is just getting that ego out of the way. I don't know about you, but for me, I listen to a lot of people, and I've seen, I'm a chiropractor first, and then now I have a whole mindset side stuff I'm doing. And seeing the successful people, and then it's just like, man, I'm grinding, I'm doing the work, I'm doing what they say, and then I'm not getting there. I'm hitting walls. And it was very frustrating until I started living my own path and just saying, it's going to be my journey. I have different obstacles I have to go through. Maybe they didn't have as many obstacles as me. Maybe I have less obstacles than them. Who knows? But the thing is, I have my own journey, and I won't know what that is until I'm not here anymore, unless there's some way, through meditation and other things, you get some good self-reflecting. But it's one of those things where, making sure that it's just being okay with, this is what I'm doing. This is the effort I'm putting in. And I know that I'm going to get there one way or another.
Totally. Yeah. I love that. I suffer with that for sure. And I'm lucky enough to have a partner who puts me in check as well. So I resonate with that. But it's one thing that one of my bigger mentors told me is that if you feel behind, then remember that things take longer than you expect. So settle in, get cozy, and put in a good day of work every day. And I love that. And, it's one thing to hear that by like reading a book, and it's another thing to hear that from someone who you really look up to in person. And so that really resonated with me to the point where, it shook me. And so if anyone is listening to this podcast who suffers from that constant drive and that maybe even that guilt of not moving fast enough, it's like the whole purpose that we're doing anything is to feel good and help others feel good, right? The whole purpose that you're doing anything that you're doing is to feel good or help others feel good. Even like take the trash out, right? It doesn't feel good to take the trash out necessarily, but it feels good not to smell the trash. So you're doing it so that you can feel good. You're investing in yourself to feel good. And the same thing goes. You might not want to be doing that grunt work that you have to do in order to reach your dream, but that's like taking the trash out, where you're doing that grunt work so that it doesn't smell later. You're doing that grunt work so that you can feel that amazing feeling of helping others or helping yourself and feeling good in the moment. And so why not feel good now? right? Why not really dial it in and just like enjoy the process? And also, it's like you're putting that energy into your work too. And so there are so many little tools that I love so much that can help us kind of change our brain's perspective, and get us to the point where we're like, okay, in order to have success, in order to accomplish what I want, I must feel good in the moment as I'm doing it, or else it doesn't count. And so that's what I've been working on lately, which I'm definitely not a master of yet. But I would say that I'm great at getting a lot done, but I'm still working on really deeply enjoying each and every moment as I'm doing that work. And that's a beautiful thing. And there are so many internal and external things that we can do to kind of get us there. I think everybody listening is super passionate about this stuff. And the idea is just to, as I say, when we're born, we're given a rock and a chisel, and it's our job to create the most beautiful sculpture we can. And so, yeah, let's create that beautiful sculpture.